Good morning. One more time, it's Friday. Sorry, we have to wake up a little bit. Good morning. All right, so welcome to summer orientation. My name's Richard Pantele. I'm the Dean of Students here. I'm also an alumnus of the college class of 2013, and I believe that I am getting ready to enter my 13th year here at the college. Been here for a while, and I'll say of all the freshman orientations that I've emceed over the years, gentlemen in the room who will be members of our incoming freshman class, this is probably the most important freshman class we've ever brought in. Who can tell me why? Yes, sir. We are turning 250 years old this year. I think that deserves a round of applause. Yeah. So the reason why I think it's important that you all are members of this class, and I'm going to put my alumni hat on for a minute. One, the college has for the last, 4 years, been in the midst of about $60 million worth of capital projects, mostly designed to renovate the areas that you will be living next year. But the goal in doing that has been to preserve a lot of our history here, but also set up this college for the next 250 years. That same philosophy is applied to each of you who are going to be entering this class in the fall. It is going to be on your shoulders, and you are going to be very much a part of writing the next chapter of Hampden-Sydney's history, hopefully for another 250 years. Nationally, the college, you've probably heard the statistic, but Hampden-Sydney is the 10th oldest college in the country. And in my opinion, when it comes to the development of young men, the sharpening and refining of your character, there is no college with a more important mission. And of course, you've heard it, to form good men and good citizens. It's a little depressing at times to me to see what other colleges are doing and how they are moving away from the development and refinement of the actual human beings who are attending their universities. Here, you guys are going to be sharpened over your 4 years into the best version of yourself possible. And I cannot be more excited for you as an alumnus and as a dean of students. My job is a blessing. You guys hopefully will hear this morning that we take a very much a hands-on approach to what we do at the college. We don't sit in our offices like you might hear at other schools. You'll see us out and about at events. But again, as an alum and as a dean of students, I just wanted to extend that formal welcome and express my own excitement for each of you. Now, a few orders of operation before we get into some orientation programming this morning. Restrooms are to y'all's left. And you'll notice, parents specifically, but when you walked in this morning, there's a table by the door that has a bunch of stuff for you to pick up and things that people will reference during the presentation this morning. Parents, I will tell you, do not feel the need to write down everything that you hear. A lot of the critical information is in this PowerPoint presentation, and it has already been uploaded to the orientation page on the website. And we'll go through a few things when we split parents and students. So there's also some contact information on here. Again, this is accumulation of about a decade's worth of material that we have found helpful for students and families. So we don't want you to pay attention to writing something down. We want you to pay attention to the folks who are on stage. This morning, we're going to start with an overview of student life at the college, and we'll have a break, and then we will bring in some of our academic affairs staff, student success staff, and we'll have a similar presentation, and then I'll put some further instruction on the screen for you all. Now, before we begin, I want to start with a little bit of trivia and some giveaways. So, if you traveled more than 100 miles to be here today, raise your hand. 200 miles, 300 miles, 400 miles, 500 miles. Sound like an auctioneer. 600 miles, 7, 8,000. Where are y'all from? California. Wow. Did you, where?
Both in the same room.
Okay. Let me see how I'm going to do this. Okay. It's not a tuition check in this bag, but it's, let me see. Okay, just give them these two big bags. Okay. Did y'all drive? Okay. So hopefully someone helps with your gas if you did. All right. So speaking of the college's history, two of our nation's founding fathers were on the college's original board of trustees. Who can name one of those individuals? Yes, sir, I saw your hand first. Patrick Henry. Who can name the other one? James Madison. Okay. Can y'all raise your hands again? Okay. All right. Are there any Marines in the room? Okay. Well, then you might know this one, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyways. Who can tell me the month, day, and year the college was founded? No. Close. I saw his hand first. Yes, sir. November 10th, 1775. We share a birthday with the Marine Corps. All right, folks. Last point I'll make, and then I'll hand the mic over to myself, actually, because we have someone who's not here today, so I'm just here all morning. Hampden-Sydney's kind of organizational chart is robust for a small college. So what we've done today is really the collection of a lot of people coming together from across campus to make this an efficient and effective experience for all of you. And none of that would be possible, especially in student life, without great administrative support. And I wanted to highlight some of the work that our administrative assistant, Desiree, if you don't mind standing, who made today possible, so we can give her a round of applause. Last but certainly not least on the reminder, so on a lot of the chairs or taped to the back of the chair, you will see a piece of paper that has different apps, gentlemen, for you to download on your phones. A lot of these things you won't need necessarily today, but in the library, there's going to be some of our IT staff present to help you with your Hampden-Sydney email, so on and so forth. So please go ahead and get these things on your phone. And you will start using them probably closer to the start of, or when you move in August. So they're not, the only one that's not, I would say, essential right now is the asset essentials. That's where you will learn to fill in work orders, things like that for your dorm room with our facilities department. So, but if you get it done now, it's just one less thing for you to have to do when you get here in August. All right, so we're going to move into some of our key areas. I'm obviously not Dean Bowyer. Dean Bowyer is not here today. He had a personal obligation, but in my former role at the college, this was my area for about 6 years. So I oversaw our student conduct process and oversaw our Greek life program at the college. I'm not going to go too far into detail, gentlemen, with you all this morning about conduct and character, because you are going to be getting a whole lot of that when you get here in August. What I will say is nothing that we do at this college is possible without an emphasis on our honor code and our code of student conduct. And the earlier that you can acquaint yourself with what those two things are, the more successful you are going to be in the long run, and the more ownership you are going to feel over the culture at this college. You will get a hard copy in the fall of the Key, which is the student handbook. It is currently available to you on the website. I would recommend that at some point this summer you download a copy of that to your computer and begin reading it. You know, the kind of way that I describe character refinement at this college is the proverb, as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. So you will spend a lot of time being sharpened by your peers, in other words. At the same time, you have a lot of folks at this campus who believe in what we do here. And in my opinion, we have probably the most effective character refining, value sharpening process at this college next to the military academies. And it's a huge emphasis of, especially your first year, you're going to hear from some alumni. One of the very first things you're going to do when you get here in the fall is a values assessment. So you can see what are those things that kind of guide your decision making What are those things that you find important? And then hopefully over your 4 years, those things will be enhanced, changed, added to, and so on. With Greek life, and Dean Schrader will talk more about our student engagement program, Greek life is a big part of the Hampden-Sydney social experience in the same way that it is a big part of our philanthropy and community service offerings. It's about a third of the student body is a member, and for you gentlemen, it might be different than what some of your friends who may be going to big SEC schools are doing, because a lot of them are currently in the process of being rushed to join a fraternity almost as soon as they get to campus. For you all, you will join in the spring if that is something that you're interested in. You'll have the entire fall semester to meet a lot of the fraternities. There are 10, by the way. There are 10 social fraternities. We have also 2 historically black fraternities and a host of professional fraternities for most of the majors on campus. So it's a pretty vibrant community here. It's an important part of our student engagement offerings. And we'll have an orientation probably in September for you to learn more about how to join and so on. So without spending too much time, which I already have done, I am going to hand the mic over to Nurse Kim Ball, who will also cover for someone who's not here today.
Okay, so good morning. Those of you that I spoke to this morning, y'all know my name is Nurse Kim. I am not Dean Renae Mancastroppa, but she had a personal obligation today as well, so I am just filling in for her briefly. Her job here is she is the Associate Dean of Students for Student Development and Well-Being. So that encompasses a lot, but she likes to focus on self-care and what you do to relieve stress, take care of yourself, and to keep yourself operating to the best of your ability. Before I go further, though, where is Zeb? Everybody give Zeb a round of applause, and I will tell y'all why in just a minute. So this morning, he was so patient with me. I was trying to explain our new 6-hole campus golf on campus, and I totally destroyed it. But he was extremely patient with me and didn't look at me like I had 25 hits. So thank you, Zeb, for that. Okay, I just had to say that. But getting back to Dean Renae's information, so there is some stuff that you need to complete for her that is due by August 1. These are mandatory requirements. Federal law makes her send them to you guys. They are 3 online courses. They are through the 3rd millennium. It's going to be listed in your admission checklist, okay? It's going to be a course on alcohol-wise, hazing and hosting, and consent and respect, okay? They are due by August 1. If for some reason you do not get them completed, there will be a hold placed on your account so that you are not able to register for spring classes, okay? So make it a priority, get them done. Get them done before you get here, before August 1. Don't be waiting till the last second, okay? And I think that's all I have. And I'll pass it over to Chief.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everybody. That was weak again. Good morning. Thank you. My name is Mark Fowler. I'm Director of Director of Public Safety, Chief of Police here at the college. I've been here too long, and that's why I forget these things. And I've been here for a little over 33 years. Started at the bottom, worked my way all the way up. And of course, as you can see, I'm still here, and there's a very good reason for that. It's because it's a great place to be. If it wasn't, I can promise you I wouldn't be standing up here today. There are too many other things in the world to do, but this is an awesome place to be. So you are in a great place, I promise you, for the next 4 years of your life, okay? So I'm going to jump right to the chase this morning, try to save a little time. I want to go over 2 of the biggest responsibilities, mandatory responsibilities that you will have with the police department when you come back this fall, okay? Number one is parking, okay? Parking is a big thing. There is plenty of parking on this campus as long as we all park where we are designated to park, okay? Everybody's got good parking, but you have to be where you're supposed to be. If you're not, you could run into some problems. We do have to enforce that parking, and parking ticket fines add up. Trust me, they really can. Case in point, a couple of years ago, one spring, I get a phone call from a parent one day, and this parent was extremely irate at me because she could not believe, she could not comprehend that one of my officers would write her son an $1,100 ticket. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, I totally agree with you. So, you know, I tell her, ma'am, I'm going to put you on hold just a second. I'll be right back. So I go up to the front office to my office manager. I give him the student's name. I say, can you just pull up his parking history? So he pulls it up on the computer, and he's looking at it. He's like, mm-hmm. Well, I knew when he said, mm-hmm, what was coming. He said he has 14 parking tickets. 8 of the 14 were for continuing to park in the same spot and continuing to get tickets for parking in that same spot. So I go back. I tell this mom, I'm like, you know, I'm really sorry that this happened. I said, but that was not an $1,100 ticket. That was the total amount for the 14 tickets that he's received, 8 for being parked in the same location. And there was a dead silence on the other end of the phone. And then she says, oh, I understand. I will take care of this. Thank you for your time. Click up. And I'm standing there going, boy, I would not want to be him today. Okay? Dads, I know you can be tough on your kids. Okay? I've been there. But moms, let me tell you something, guys, don't. And most of you have probably already been there in your life. Don't make mom mad, please, okay? That's never a good thing. So anyway, parking decals, that is something that is mandatory. You will get those through us. Some of you probably already have, or you will today. Make sure that you not only get them, don't get them and put them in your glove box or in the console. They have to be affixed to your vehicle at all times, okay? Just because you purchase it and you have it in your vehicle does not mean you won't get a ticket. If we don't see it, we don't know you got it. Okay, so you still get a ticket for failure to display. Take time to read your parking regulations. It'll save you. Number 2, mandatory. And this is actually number 1 on the list. But I save it for second so you don't forget. Firearms. Which ones of you guys are planning to bring firearms to campus this fall for hunting or target shooting? Okay, we got a few. Real quick, number 1, and this is for everybody, absolutely, positively, no handguns on this campus at any time for any reason. I don't care if it's airsoft, if it's BB, real, makes no difference. If it's shaped like a handgun, Real or not, it doesn't come here. Any of them can get you in trouble. It is not tolerated. And if you bring one and you're caught with it, you could find yourself on the outside looking in, okay? This is taken very seriously. Now, you can bring long guns, shotgun, rifle, or archery equipment, okay? Limited to 3 of those in combination, okay? The first thing you have to do is bring it to the police department when you bring it on campus. That firearm will be registered with us. It will be stored with us in a secure locker within the PD at all times, except when you check it out to go hunting, you go target practice, and whatever the case may be. And when you return, and you will give us a time when you check it out that you're going to bring it back. And that goes in the system. If it's not back, every officer here gets a text message. That firearm's not back. Guess what happens then? We start looking for you and that gun. So make sure when you bring it back, first thing is back to our office immediately. So this fall, when you bring a firearm back, when you register it, you'll get more in-depth information, but that's the gist of it. And I'll close by saying one thing. We are not your typical, what you think of as the typical police department in a town, city, sheriff's office, so forth. We're not here to bust you. My officers have a clear understanding of that. We're not here to bust you. We're not here to get you in trouble. We're here to try to keep you out of that. Sometimes we may not be able to do that. But if we can't, it's because you have done something that takes that decision away from us, okay? There are some things that we have no choice but to make an arrest. We try to make that a rare occasion. Bottom line, it's all up to you, okay? We have 2 main goals here. Number 1 is your safety and security at all times so that you can have a safe environment to study, to have fun, and to live. That's number 1. Number 2, our goal is to see you at the end of 4 years walk across that platform and get that diploma that you're coming here to get, okay? If we get to see you do that at the end of 4 years, then we feel like we have done our job. And we will help you get there in any way we can. And if you come to us with a problem, which you are more than welcome to do, you're not going to hear, sorry, we can't help you with that. You might hear that, but you're also going to hear, give me just a minute. I will find someone who can help you, because there's endless resources on this campus. And we're not going to leave you hanging. We might not be able to solve your problem, but we know people who can. So never hesitate to come to us. We're always here to help. Thank you.
All right, guys, I am Dr. Merckerson. I'm the Director of Counseling Services here. A couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. One is Counseling Center at counseling at hsc.edu. That's the easiest way to get in contact with us. Counseling at hsc.edu. Now, I'm going to try to make this as relatable as possible, all right? I know we're not all car guys, but you should be able to relate to this. I'm not a car guy either, but I know that if I'm driving along, and for you guys, don't picture what you're driving now, picture what you want to drive, like your most stylish, the biggest flex vehicle that you can possibly come up with, right? That's your baby. You want to take care of it, all right? So if you're driving along and you notice your car pulling to the left, pulling to the right, that's not normal, right? If you notice a little clicking when you're driving down the road, a little shaking when you get to 50, 55, that's a problem, right? You wouldn't just ignore it and just keep on driving and say, it'll get better, right? So think of yourself as that super fine vehicle and your brain as the nicest souped up V6, V8, V12 Hemi that you can possibly have. You would want to take care of that thing, right? So for you, for your vehicle, those things are warning signs, right? But for you, some warning flags and red flags might be your parents are saying, hey, you know what? You just don't sound the same when we talk to you. Friends asking you, hey man, are you okay? You sound a little different. You might not quite feel like yourself. Maybe a little angry for no reason. Find yourself crying or emotional, things that you shouldn't necessarily be upset about. Those are your warning signs. So just like you would pay attention to those things in your vehicle, pay attention to those things for yourself. Now on your vehicle, if you ignore those things, it's going to turn into a really expensive problem. And maybe even your car not working at all, right? For you guys here, ignoring those things could turn into big problems, as in maybe you're not feeling like getting up and going to class, right? You're going to miss out on all the awesome things and services that this campus has to offer. So you're going to miss out on a college experience. You sleeping in and can't get motivated to go to class, so now your grades are dropping because you haven't been showing up, right? Now you're getting warnings that you're failing. Don't let that turn into something even bigger, like, hey, you know what, I just haven't been feeling good, but I got this huge assignment that's coming up. I just can't fail this, but I really don't have the time to do it. Now you dip into a little bit of Wikipedia, get a little chat GPT going. Now you're putting yourself at risk of being kicked out of school, right? Getting on probation. Don't do those things. Routine checks, routine maintenance, oil changes, that's us. Imagine yourself living next to the finest auto shop that you can possibly imagine, and it's within walking distance. And it's also free. You'll never be able to get access to this kind of care in the real world again. So take advantage of it while you're here. Take care of yourself just like you would take care of your vehicle, all right? Okay. Other than me, I'm a master technician myself, but we also have Jonathan Schuler, who really is a car guy. He's our master's level licensed therapist. He's really good at talking to you guys, relating to you. We're also going to have 2 graduate level intern students from Longwood there. So we have a really good variety of perspectives and things that we can help you out on that we specialize with. We also have Miss Adrian Traylor, who's our administrative assistant. She's really good at just relating and talking to the guys, and especially you parents, because you're going to, if you know your son is coming to counseling, you're going to want to know what's going on with him. And you're going to call us and you're going to say, hey, can you tell me what's going on with so-and-so? We're not going to be able to tell you anything, but Miss Traylor will tell it to you in the most polite way possible, and you can have a good conversation with her about that. But we are located on the end of campus. As Nurse Kim will tell you, the opposite side of the gate. You come into the gate, you keep driving. We're right next to the health center. You can come in to see us. You can walk in. You can make a phone call. You can also email us at counseling@hsc.edu. That's counseling@hsc.edu. All right? So come on by, see us, guys. Take care of yourself. Take care of that motor. I think I heard somebody in the back ask one more time, but it's counseling@hsc.edu.
Thank you. Okay, guys, I don't have anything that good to follow up with. But again, my name is Kim Ball. I am the Director of Student Health Services here on campus. And like Dr. Merckerson said, we are located opposite of the gates, the very edge of campus. Come see one of us, drop in and see the other. We're right there. We all work very closely together. our two offices and Dean Renae as well. So the Student Health Center is open Monday through Friday. We're staffed by nurses all day, and our college physician is here for specified hours each day. He's been here on campus for a little over 20 years. So he is very in tune with your needs and what is seen on campus. We have a program called Squad Care. So if somebody needs an ambulance called for some reason, or if we call 911 from the office for transport to the ER, that transportation bill is covered through Squad Care. So there is not a bill for that ride to the hospital. We started that last year because we found that a lot of guys were refusing transport simply because it's expensive. And it's a safer way to get you guys there if we think that that's something that's needed, okay? There are a few items that I need from you as well. So I now see that I am the only one telling y'all to do stuff this summer today, but these are required forms that we need in student health. We need a physical exam form. We need your immunization records. We need you to fill out a health history form. We need your health insurance information and emergency treatment consent form, okay? There is information on the table on how to register for the student health portal. All of this can be uploaded through there. Moms, if for some reason, or dads, you have a physical copy of his exam or immunization record today, I will take those. If you have already emailed them to me, I will be putting them in his chart. No need to send it again. Speaking of health insurance, everything that we do in the office there is no extra bill. So nurse visits, doctor visits, any type of rapid testing that we do in the office, flu shots, tetanus shots, there is no charge for that. If Dr. Corbett writes an order for a prescription, or if he sends you out for an x-ray or a referral to another doctor, then that's when your health insurance is going to come into play, okay? So these items are due August 1 as well, just like the third millennium things, okay? Now, these same type of scenario, you can flip it to the next one, same type of scenario, the third millennium and the medical health information has to be completed. If not, then the hold will be placed on your account before registering for the spring semester. Okay, and I think that's it, and I will hand it over to Scott.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Scott Schmolesky. I'm the director of High Adventure, which is the outdoor education component here at the college. And just want to talk to you guys about some resources that are available both on campus and off campus. Clearly, we've got a beautiful campus, and there's a lot more to see that maybe you haven't seen quite yet. I know you've all taken tours at one point in time, but there's quite a bit on our about 1,600 acres of college campus that's available to you guys as students. One of the most accessed resources is the Wilson Trail. This is a 3-mile trail. You can walk it, you can bike it, you can leisurely stroll it. It's accessible from most points on campus, most residence halls. You can walk there within probably 5 or 10 minutes. So don't let that opportunity slip by. Check it out. Don't be that senior. I'll sometimes run into them and they'll say, man, it's like the last week, they're getting ready to graduate, and they say, I just went out to that Wilson Trail. That's pretty awesome. And I'm like, for the first time? Well, yeah, I kind of got busy, and don't be that guy. Okay, make sure you check it out soon once you get here. If you guys like golf, you've got 3 options on campus. So there's traditional ball golf, which is just down the road at the Manor. It's about 10 minutes down, 15 towards Farmville. We do have passes for ball golf. Those are available in OSA in the Office of Student Affairs Monday through Friday. You can check those out 8:30 to 5 p.m. And then on Fridays you can check those out for the weekend also. If you like to play ball golf and you want to play on a nice afternoon, my suggestion is go early, pick up that pass because they do go pretty quick and there's a limited number. A little more accessible is campus golf. That's a 6-hole course. It's got tee boxes and you play off trees. So I never have actually played, I have to admit, but this is a recent addition and it's proving to be pretty popular here on campus. And then lastly, we have a disc golf course called Tadpole Holes, and this is an 18-hole course located kind of on the outskirts of campus, past the Kirby Fieldhouse. This is a really nice addition to campus. It's been here about 5 years now, and though I'm a little bit biased, I think it's one of the nicest disc golf courses in the Southeast. If you like to fish, any guys like to fish here? Just a few? There's a few more than that, I'll bet. We've got 3 fishable ponds on campus. Tadpole Holes is our farthest aflung on the other side of campus. It's a fairly freshwater pond, about 25 feet deep. Then we've got two more lakes a little closer to campus, or ponds. Those are all fishable without a Virginia license. So a lot of guys will go out there in the afternoon after classes and decompress with a little bit of fishing. So you guys are welcome to bring your gear and fish those ponds anytime you're free. If you like to fish something a little more extensive, a little larger, we've got Briery Creek just down the road. That has got some of the best bass fishing in the Southeast, if you're not aware of that. And it's just 5 minutes down the road, and it's accessible pretty much any time, dawn to dusk. So if you guys want to fish just off campus, that's available to you. We also have a challenge course, and this is a high course built into the tree line. It's about 60 feet in height. It's got a 2-route climbing wall and what's called high traversing elements, which are made out of cable wood, and that's also in the tree line. That course is sort of used as a team building aspect for the college. You'll access it probably in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through a sports team or organization. And we'll also have some open times for you guys to climb out there during the week. So you'll get out there in some way, shape, or form in the fall. If you like shooting sports, your timing is excellent. We are about to open up a 20-stand shooting course at Slate Hill, which is our historic property about 5 minutes down the road from the main campus. This will open in October. It'll comprise skeet, trap, and clay. And we do have a competitive shooting team here. We also will have a recreational shooting team. Right now it's just competitive, but we're about to branch out and offer that opportunity to all students who would like to give it a try. So if you're into shooting sports, your timing is excellent, and we'll have that course opened up in October. If you need gear, we do have that for you for checkout. We have bikes, we have backpacks, we have assorted camping gear, kayaks, canoes. Those are all free for you guys to check out anytime. You can borrow a bike for a day, for a week. A lot of students will check them out for the semester just to get around campus. That's an excellent way to avoid those parking tickets if you get on a bike, and a little faster to get from point A to point B too, believe it or not. So if you need a bike, come by, see us. We'll check one out for you. So lastly, I want to talk a little bit about our programs that are off the hill, off campus a little bit. We have some excellent opportunities for you guys to access adventure just off campus, as well as in some farther flung areas. Beyond the Hill is our service and adventure program. It's been around for, Richard, maybe 20 years? About 30 years. It's an excellent way to give back as well as access some pretty unique adventures. Recently, we've been in Alaska, the Sawtooth Range in Idaho, New Mexico, and then I know in the past they've traveled overseas in addition to some Caribbean destinations as well. So those programs will be available to you, and don't let those opportunities pass you by. Lastly, just talking about a couple of programs coming up. I know that some of you guys will be joining us this weekend for Brotherhood Before the Hill. Appreciate you guys signing up for that, for some adventure this weekend and some camaraderie. And there'll be another opportunity this fall. We're starting a new program called Adventure Before the Hill. That'll be August 17th, 18th, and 19th. And that will be based out of the Ace Adventure Resort in West Virginia, and will involve whitewater rafting, a half day of hiking, and a half day of an ATV tour. And that's just for incoming freshmen. So they'll be offering for the first year. James Cosenza, who is one of your orientation leaders, who you'll meet shortly, is the president of the Outsiders Club, and he's also helped organize this new event. So if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to him. I'll be in the library at 1 o'clock for the open house. Please come by, say hello if you have questions about the outdoor program. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, so let's get this show on the road a little bit. My name is Jesse Schrader. I'm the Associate Dean of Students for Campus and Residential Life, and I hold your future in my hands, your immediate and your 62-day future. So immediately, I'm between you and your first break, so I'll be very brief. That's why I'm at the back end to save some time, because I'll be in the library from 1 to 4 today. You can ask me all the questions you want. But I gotta welcome you to Fun Shirt Friday, okay, if you haven't seen what I'm wearing, because it's been boring here all summer until orientation. I see the same 6 and 7 people here every single day. Dean Pantele can't mulch his flower beds anymore. He's bought all the Lowe's mulch they have. You know, Kim Ball didn't mention it, but her son's a senior this year, and we can't hear her crying anymore about how she's not ready for him to graduate, okay? Scott has been taking Boy Scouts, doing merit badge trips, getting everything they need to go, getting stuff ready for you guys for the year. Clarence has been a little down because the Alabama Crimson Tide didn't do too well this year, so he's just getting ready for next year, okay? And Chief Fowler and I, we get along great because he's been here a little over 33 years, and I turned 34 in December. So we agree on a lot of stuff, okay? So, in going in that, the rest part of your future is in 62 days, your sons will be here for your freshman orientation, and they're gonna move into the res halls. I assign your housing. So everything else I said, you don't care about at this point. So I'm gonna sit right here. How are you? Okay, great. So the first part of my job is campus life. That includes all the people you've talked about today. They are gonna make sure your son gets involved in something. They're gonna talk about engagement from the time you get here today until the time you all leave at right around 2:30 to 3 o'clock on that Thursday you bring them in 62 days. And we're gonna get them involved in something. Each one of those individuals will make sure your son is involved. We have over 65 active clubs and organizations. And if there's something on this campus you wanna bring, we have the most active student government in the country, and they will make sure your son's club gets started, okay? The second part of my job is residential life. So there's a couple of RAs here today who are also your orientation leaders. They are resources for your son. They will be there for you, whether your son wants them to or not, okay? The other part of my job is the thing I talked about, which is housing. Dean Pantele mentioned an almost $60 million capital planning project we've been here. This is year 4 for me. I have been in renovation nightmare hellscape since I got here. We are almost done. So today, you're gonna get to go see the Carpenter buildings, which are gonna be ready to go in August for your sons to move into. You're gonna get to go visit White House, which got renovated last year. And you're gonna get to go to historic Cushing Hall, which is 4 stories, which is really 5 because it was built in a long time ago. It is the oldest continuous use building in a college country in the nation. And the rooms are huge. You can play basketball in them, okay? Every building has something you're gonna want. Now, the gentleman behind me is wearing a Cowboys hat, and I'm an Eagles fan, so I can't talk to him, but I'll talk to the rest of you. How's it going, man? Okay. Go Birds. All right, so later today, after you do your tour, come see me in the library from 1 to 4. I will be there. I will also be giving you the tour of Carpenter Y, and we'll talk about your housing, any questions you may have. To give everyone the answer now, though, you will not get your housing today, nor will you get it tomorrow, because it'll be Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday and Tuesday next week, because we're going to be doing this show all over again 2 more days, okay? It will be available online for you to see where you were being placed between June 30th and July 1, based on how technology works and the system's updates for you to see in your admissions portal, and on TigerWeb, which you get access to later today, okay? So moms, June 30th, July 1, I will coincidentally not be in the office on July 2nd, so you can't ask me any questions, but I'll be back on July 3rd, okay? That being said, if you guys need anything today, please come let us know, come see us, and I'm gonna give the mic back to Dean Pantele, and we're gonna go. Have a good rest of your day.
Mulch? Really? All right, so we are going to transition for the second half of this session into talking about the academic program and academic success at the college. In my opening remarks to the academic program, I'll refine to just a few points. A lot of colleges and universities have a very clear line in the sand between their co-curricular program, which is everything outside of the classroom, and what happens inside the classroom. That is not the case at Hampden-Sydney. We believe that your academic success, your development as a scholar, is just as important as you becoming the best version of yourself through your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and what I call the development of self-efficacy, or the ability to set goals for yourself and figure out how to accomplish them, but also overcome challenges. And at Hampden-Sydney, the academic program does a couple things, in my opinion. It exposes you to a diverse array of topics so that you're well-versed in a lot of things. It enables you to really dive deep into subject matter that you are personally interested in. And most importantly, you are going to be taught how to think, not what to think. So in that regard, you have to learn how to create arguments. You have to learn how to express to others your viewpoint on things through the lens of civil discourse, so on and so forth. That is becoming increasingly an enigma in higher education. And it's something that we take very seriously here. We want you to be critical thinkers. We want you to be expert communicators through both written and spoken language, and so on. So today, to talk about the academic program and all that it offers to you, we have Dr. Ivo Gyurovski, who's also a Hampden-Sydney alum. He's the assistant dean of the faculty and a professor in the psychology department. So I'm going to hand the floor over to him.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Good. Are you happy to be here? Did that sound like they meant it? I'm going to ask you again, but this time more like tigers. Are you happy to be here? How happy are you to be here? Okay, all right, very good. So I have, I'd like to start by introducing myself. Though, thank you, Dean Pantele, for this nice introduction. So as he said, I'm an alumnus. I graduated back in '09 with a degree in psychology and economics, and I returned back in 2017 to teach here in the college. And as of last year, I'm also wearing an administrative hat. So it is my pleasure to do the big task of introducing our massive academic program into these little teeny tiny 10 minutes. So please bear with me. What I'd like to do is, start the conversation because, like I said, it's a big program. I'm very glad that we have a chance to start this conversation during the summer and continue it in the early fall and through your first year, because that's a big, important transition in the student's life. And so today what we'll talk mostly about are kind of the general approach of our academic program. It's some of its main elements, why they are there and what general purpose they serve. And in the fall we'll start getting a little more specific. But in order to start, I'd like to go back to our mission statement, which of course is to form good men and good citizens in an atmosphere of sound learning. And I'd like to deconstruct that a little bit. There are two parts to it, right? There is the good men and good citizens part. And here, it's important to tell that even the people who established the college 250 years ago, like this fall we'll celebrate 250 years, and it should be a wonderful year on our campus. Even they realized that the supply of good men and good citizens is typically short, but it's especially short today. So in order, the reason I say this, I'm looking at data by the Richard Reeves Institute for Boys and Men. Some of you might be familiar with that institution. It studies how men do in society, basically, and the data are pretty alarming, right? One of the things they say is that, and there's strong evidence for it, is that boys are consistently struggling in schools more so than young women are, and this is true in K through 12 as well as in college. They also tend to underperform when it comes to their work environment. They tend to be less engaged fathers. They tend to be less engaged in their communities generally. And that's why I'm very excited to work here at Hampden-Sydney, because I think it fulfills a unique niche, focusing on young men. Now, why this is happening, I think it's big and it's a complex issue. We could teach courses on what the reasons why this is happening, but the good news is that you're here and our students do better. We have evidence that our men do better than men at coeducational places. Again, we could teach courses on why that is, but we don't have too much time to go into this today. And we're replete with stories of individuals who are strong community leaders, in their local communities, and they're both formal and informal leaders in their organizations. So I think the college does a good job, inculcating the values in young men to help them be more engaged, in their jobs, at their communities, and in their families compared to other men. I mean, one of the things we do is Ms. Cooke will tell you very soon about the philanthropy efforts you will be part of while you're here in the college and helping the local community. So when you see an email from her, please respond, yes, I will participate. When and where do you need me? So to go to the other part, how do we do this? How do we form good men and good citizens? That's the second part of our mission statement, the sound learning component, right? So good men And the goodness of man does not will itself into being just magically, right? It takes training, it takes education. So what are some of the main elements of our academic program? You will choose from among 27 majors and 26 minors. I was a double major in college, and I advise you to be a double major, at least a major and a minor. Why is that? I think the reason this is important to do is so that you're exposed to different fields, different frameworks for understanding the world, so that you could look at one problem, but from a couple of different points of view. And this is a very important skill to have, to be able to innovate, to problem solve, and also to work with others, right? So when we push you to experience disciplines other than the ones you're most comfortable with, you learn how to collaborate with other people, how to relate better to them, and how to view the world from different perspectives. So I hope that you would pursue that. I also, as a social psychologist, I can tell you that ultimately everything in life comes down to relationships. So the relationships you will form here at this college are very important. And what we would like to teach you is that what is the type of work a relationship requires, and it takes how to build trust, how to protect that relationship in the future. And some of these relationships will be with your professors. Be alert, be engaged, be in your classes, be early, be prepared with questions, having read the material, show that you care, right? Also think about the relationships you will form with your advisors. You will have 2 academic advisors here at Hampden-Sydney College. The first one you will get this summer, who will help you with your first semester schedule and who will shepherd you through the core curriculum to identify a major that interests you, that speaks to your passions and interests. So make sure you engage that person, ask them questions, be in their office, visit them frequently, make yourself known, right? Help them to help you, in other words. You also have another advisor. So once you select a major, you will have a major advisor in your department. Again, approach that same person with a similar attitude. Be in their office frequently, make yourself known, ask them for opportunities for internships, for summer research, for study away, what the Career Center can do for you. What are some of your aptitudes and skills and capacities, so that the goal is to help that person navigate a very complex environment for you in the pre-professional world, and importantly to prepare you either for graduate school or for a career of your choice. But the more you work with them, the more they can do for you, right? So education is not a product to be bought, it's a transformative experience, and you are the main participant in that, right? So we will set a stage for you, we'll provide opportunities, but you have to be the one taking advantage through them. Our academic program is also augmented by a number of co-curricular opportunities. So for example, this is our Global Education and Study Away office. So you could study abroad in anywhere around the world. If marine biology in Australia interests you, let's do that. If you want to be an economist or study business, let's talk about the London School of Economics. If you're interested in the humanities, we have an excellent program at Oxford University where you could study history and literature there for the summer period. We also take a number of students on our own. This summer we sent 10% of our student body on study abroad programs. I just came back from France. We took 15 students there for 4 weeks. It was an epic adventure. Next year we're going to Italy. In 27 we'll be back to France. So there will be a number of options. I hope you will apply and participate in these. Please make sure, even though you're only beginning to orient yourself to the college, one thing we know about your generation is that you're incredibly outcome-oriented, meaning what is the main reason you're coming to college is to do well after college. So please make sure you stop by the Career Development Office and make yourself known there, because there are many things you could do during your summers here at Hampden-Sydney to help your academic preparation with the objective of doing well after college. Stop by the Fleming Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, right? Another thing we know about your generation is that you're a generation of doers, right? You're no longer satisfied with just learning a subject matter and then finding a job. You want to do and create while you're still in college. I have an example with one of our majors who is interested in human behavior as a psychologist, but he also liked to tinker. And his classes always left him a little dissatisfied, but one thing that we've discovered he likes to do is to work on his own projects. And through the Fleming Center, he's developing a new brand of pre-workout. He's talking to chemists about the formula, to marketing experts, how to sell the thing. And it's gotten him very, very excited. So again, I like to think of these services as augmenting the academic program, and I'd like to encourage you to take advantage of those. In conclusion, I'd like to say that the going will get tough. We'll demand a lot from you. The standards are very high at our schools. And again, I want you to keep one thing in mind: when the deadlines are raining on you and when you feel underslept and overworked, remember that what we do to you, we do because we want to see you do well in the future. Thank you.
Good morning. Now, just to reassure you, Dr. Gyurovski went over a lot of different things that you can get involved in. Those offices will be represented over in the Bortz Library this afternoon, so you'll have an opportunity to speak with folks from the Career Center, those from Study Abroad and Study Away, those from the Fleming Center for Entrepreneurship. So please do take advantage of that. I am so excited you're here. It's been a very busy week for us. I looked down at my calendar yesterday, and it still said Monday, and I was like, wow. So I flipped to Thursday, and there were these two little flip-flops, and they said, "You're flipping awesome." And I was like, you know me. My name is Lisa Burns. I am the Director for Academic Success. Full disclosure, folks, I have drunk the Kool-Aid. I love this place. I've raised 5 children here. 3 of my sons have gone to school at Hampden-Sydney, and they're employed. We love that. So I know this place from the perspective of a community member, from the perspective of a staff member, as a parent, and I've even taken classes here. What was it, 2 years ago? I took a class in race and ethnicity studies with Dr. Gyurovski. Absolutely loved it. So I like to stay involved and really have a good sense of what your sons are going to be experiencing in the classroom. But it's not just me being absolutely awesome. I have an incredible staff that works with me in the Office of Academic Success. If you could stand, please. Look at them, they coordinated their colors today. Love it. Okay, so I should let you know, Miss Connie Hicks, she coordinates our tutoring program as well as serving as an academic counselor. So as part of her duties, she's reaching out to all the faculty departments across campus, getting the schedule for tutoring, putting it out to you all. It'll be on the web, you'll be seeing it in email, it'll be in your mailboxes, posted all over campus. And you don't have to register for tutoring. Tutoring is absolutely free, which is my favorite 4-letter F word. And gentlemen, you don't have to sign up for it. You just look at the chart and go, oh, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's stats tutoring from 8 to 10. Oh, I got something tonight, but I'm going on Wednesday and Thursday, right? Really, the tutor is always going to be there. So easy to take advantage of. And at Hampden-Sydney, I just want to let you guys know, for faculty and staff to get a hold of them, real easy. It's their first initial and then their last name. So Miss Connie Hicks has the best email at an all-male school. Has anybody done the math? She is chicks@hsc.edu. So I don't want you to forget that. I'm always going to be giving mnemonic devices to help you remember information. Now, next to Miss Connie Hicks is Mr. Carter Shotwell. He serves as an academic counselor for us. He really loves to specialize in study skills, note-taking, and other things. But he also does our workshops. Those are Wednesday afternoon from 4 to 5 in a collaborative environment. So, you can absolutely come together and benefit from the perspectives of your teams and your classmates, or you can schedule one-on-one appointments with us. I'd like you to remember Mr. Shotwell, when you need advice, you come for some 3-pointers from Mr. Shotwell, okay? All right, so I mentioned the workshops that we do. I mentioned tutoring. We do academic coaching. 80% of our day is spent with one-on-one appointments with you gentlemen. Many of you set them up much like a class. 30 minutes once a week. Maybe it's every Tuesday at 10 a.m. You've picked your counselor, and that's who you meet with. And then you strategize with them. Here's what's going on in my classes. Here's what's coming up. What can I do to work more effectively? Or even sometimes it's other things that are impacting you outside of class, and you're trying to learn how to manage those and budget those. We work with a student holistically, and we're going to help you to strategize to make the best of that situation. So please take advantage of working with us on a regular basis, or you can just come in for one shot every once in a while. You can just do it as needed. Okay. We also coordinate advising. So gentlemen, we've been working for the past few weeks. We've looked at your academic interest surveys. We've looked at the placements from the department chairs who've reviewed your admissions portfolios. And compiled all that with, like if you've told us you're going to be an honors student, or you're part of the Wilson Center for Leadership, or maybe you're playing a sport, or you're participating in ROTC. We've taken all that information into play and we've created a schedule for you. You'll have an opportunity this afternoon to sit down with an advisor, look at your schedule, make some changes if you feel that's necessary, and you will leave today with a schedule in hand, okay? And let me see, some other things I have to talk to you about. Something called FERPA. FERPA stands for Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. And what that means in the K-12 arena is your academic record, gentlemen, that belonged to your parents, okay? And they always had access to what was going on in elementary, middle, and high school, okay? Once you matriculate at Hampden-Sydney, whether or not you're 18 or not, once you matriculate, that academic record now belongs to you gentlemen, okay? And I know I've got some nervous parents looking at me going, lady, we pay a chunk of change for our sons to go to school here. And we want access to that information. I hear you. I'd like for you to think of it this way. Parents, you are gifting your sons with the tuition and fees to go here, okay? Gentlemen, your parents are sacrificing for you to be here. And I want you to honor that sacrifice by gifting them with information. They are your biggest cheerleaders. They want the best for you. I mean, we all do as well, but they know you inside and out, okay? So please be forthcoming with them with information. Parents, you should know that in the second week in October, your students will be receiving their midterm progress reports. So they'll have an output of how they're doing in each one of their classes. So when they come home for fall break, have those conversations with them. Now, while I said that, this information belongs to the sons, parents, we absolutely can take information from you. We can't always be as forthcoming as you might wish. So please, if anything comes up, share information with us so that we can help you in this process of getting your son from a young man to a fully formed adult. Okay, so I appreciate your engagement and that collaboration and that opportunity. And finally, what can you do to be successful? I love these guys who've sitting up front, back that center T. Get to class early that first day, right? Because where you sit that first day pretty much determines where you're going to sit for the remainder of the semester. So make sure you're sitting up front or down that center T, that unobstructed view. You get to make eye contact with your professors. They're making eye contact with you. And as I see this woman, she's nodding, and I'm gauging in on that. But someone who's looking at me a little quizzical, I might say, let me give you another example. And I'm going to give you a better example if you've come to my office to visit me during my office hours. So take some time during those first 2 weeks. Visit your faculty members during their office hours. Tell them a little bit about you. Ask them about why they came to Hampden-Sydney, why they're passionate about that class. Why should you be passionate about this class that you have to take? It's part of the core, right? They're going to help you find purpose and get to know you better. And you're going to get a much better experience inside and outside the classroom. So thank you very much.
Good morning. All right, I'm from Alabama, so I like it a little bit louder than that. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I like that. See, I knew we had it in us. All right, my name is Desiree Nicholson. As you can see, my email still says Washington. I got married last summer, and I'm too lazy to change my name legally, okay? But my name is Desiree Nicholson, and I run the Office of Culture and Inclusion. And I want to take a minute to talk about that for a second with both students and parents, okay? We hear the word culture these days, and it has become highly politicized. I understand that, okay? Let me tell you what that means for us here at Hampden-Sydney so that we're all on the same page. For us, culture is how we do what we do. Okay, I get the pleasure of being in everybody's business. I'm like the one office on campus that gets to be in everybody's business to make sure that we are doing the forming of good men and good citizens at every single level, including working with your young men to be able to have civic discourse with each other regardless of their belief, okay? We want them to be able to talk to each other, have conversations, and be in a full-fledged brotherhood regardless of what they believe. That is all we do. We don't care what you believe, okay? We want you to be who you are. Again, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I grew up Southern Baptist. That completely shaped who I am. I know that all of us have a story, and we want you to come as a full-fledged person because that helps us increase our brotherhood, okay? No one is looking for you to change your mind. We just want to help you think better. Yeah? Cool. All right, so under my umbrella, we have a bunch of stuff. I'll tell you, I like to say business in the front, party in the back, so let's handle business first. ADA and Title IX fall under my umbrella. ADA is accessibility services. If you had an IEP in high school, okay, if you had any form of accommodations in high school, they work a little bit differently in higher education, okay? In high school, K-12, your instructor, your educator was in charge of those accommodations for you. That is not quite the case in higher education. You have to be an advocate for yourself. Our office wants to help you, bless you, learn those tools to be able to advocate for yourself, and we want to make sure that you are able to be confident, right, and that your accommodations are not stigmatized. If you need extra time on a test, we want to make sure that you have that. If you need to test in an isolated environment, we want to make sure that you have that. Your professors want to make sure that you have every single tool at your disposal to be successful here. It is difficult, okay? Our classes, our coursework is rigorous, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. We believe that you can, which is why we have such high expectations. Okay, that's ADA. Title IX, a lot of people ask me, I get this question every year. I promise if I had 1 penny for the amount of times I get this question, I'd be a very rich lady. Why do we have Title IX at an all-male school? The answer is really simple. We have to, okay? It is law. We are federally regulated to have Title IX. Now, Title IX in the media looks like sports, right? Making sure that there's a fair amount of sports for women and male students. That's not quite how it works here. Okay, there's another side to Title IX, which is harassment and discrimination and sexual assault. We also understand, according to data and statistics, right, that men also experience sexual assault. If you experience sexual assault, harassment, discrimination, or any unpleasant interaction, please let us know, okay? If not myself or someone in my office, please reach out to Richard and his staff. Please reach out to anybody that you meet today. Reach out to your RA, your orientation leader, and let someone know so that we can address the issue quickly, okay? We are not a punitive school. We believe in restorative justice. So if something happens, we really want to teach the student about why that is not acceptable behavior rather than punish the student, okay? All right, business is done. All of my students, stand up. Let's party. Stand up, stand up, stand up. All right, we talk a lot about brotherhood, right? Y'all have heard the word a million times today. You're going to hear it a million times until you graduate. And then even after that, you're going to hear it a million times because you'll forever be a part of this brotherhood. And you can't be a brother without knowing each other. So for the next 2 minutes, I want you to go walk around and introduce yourself and tell something interesting about yourself. Where are you from? What are you choosing to major in? Do you play a sport? Okay, go find a new brother. Go. Please. right, gentlemen, let's make our way back to our seats in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, y'all are quick. 5, 4. All right, 3, 2, 1. So you just did the hard part, right? Which is forming the brotherhood. Everything else will come naturally once you form a network, right? You retain better, you perform better, you are a better student, you're a better athlete. Once you know that someone is going to be there to support you, and you just did that work right now, okay? Take out your phones. All students, take out your phones. You've gotten a ton of information today, and I expect you to remember 0 of it. I sent my daughter to college last year. She remembers nothing that happened at orientation other than her roommate. So I'm going to have you follow us on Instagram, so everything I said today you can go look at. Follow us at OCC_HSC. And should you have any questions, my student workers and myself run the Instagram, so DM us, okay? No questions too big, too small, or too dumb. Ask us. All right, the last thing I want to mention, or 2 more things I want to mention to you guys is there are a couple of events that we have on campus that are coat and tie, okay? If you do not have coat and tie, do not worry. We have a career closet for you that our alumni and local community give to, okay? It is fully stocked with professional clothing that is yours to keep, okay? We started off as a lending out system, but then we quickly realized that if you needed it, it is yours to have, okay? We continuously get donations, and they are nice donations. I just got a bag full of Brooks Brothers shirts the other day, and then I got a bag of Gucci ties the other day from some of our alumnus. So really, really, really nice items you will never be without, okay? If you go on an internship, please come get items before you go on your internship. If you have an interview, if you have a class presentation, it is there for you to be successful in that way as well, okay? And then the last thing that I want to mention to you guys is we are going to be unleashing this year a new program for first-year students called Man-to-Man Project, okay? You'll be partnered with a upperclassman student that will also be partnered with your advisor that will help you get some holistic help, learn about the culture here, learn about how to be a part of the brotherhood. Just in case if you're missing some events that are going on, they will be your built-in, I was going to say Palm Pilot, but I don't even think y'all know what a Palm Pilot is. They will be your built-in assistant, okay? Just to help you, your built-in brother, just to help you get acclimated to this first year, okay? If you have any questions, I'm on the 4th floor. My office is never, and I really mean this, never without a student in it. So if you're looking for a community, please come hang out with us. If you need anything, please let us know. Parents, if you need anything, please let us know, okay? I'm on the 4th floor of Bort's, and I'll be there this afternoon if you have any questions.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, again. I am Sandy Cooke, Director of Orientation. I'm also Director of Civic Engagement, so I do the volunteer work with all the students on campus, which is really, really fun. But a few things about fall orientation. Move-in day for most of you will be Thursday, August 21st, but we do have some people that will be moving in earlier. We have football there Tuesday, August 12th. Soccer and cross country will be the 15th. Wilson Center program will be August 18th, and Student Success Seminar with Ms. Burns will be the 19th. So I mentioned all of those because I wanted to tell you, if you do move in your son early, you are not obligated to come back for fall orientation day, but you are certainly welcome. We do have a free lunch. We'll have the president speak, our dean of the faculty speak, and we also have an event at the bell tower where we say goodbye to students. All right, don't cry, parents. Sorry, I shouldn't even brought that up. But we do those things, and you are more than welcome to come back. Most parents who move their students in early do make plans to come family weekend, which will be October 3rd and 4th. And I'm just telling you that so you can make your reservations early with hotels, because they do go quickly. And as Dean Nicholson mentioned, we do have some coat and tie events, so please make sure that you bring coat and tie first day. Dean Pantele is a good example. Lots of students wear the blue blazer, tan slacks, tie. But you're more than welcome to bring a suit or be creative. Like I had one guy who had a burgundy paisley suit that he wore to everything. It was awesome. Love that. So please be creative if you want to.
As far as civic engagement goes, we have great things that we go out and do in the community. The students here are very, very involved. The Mentor Club is a great example. Caleb Camp, he's in the Mentor Club. He goes out 1 hour a week, and he has a little brother at the elementary school. And they'll tell you, if you talk to them, that they might have one little brother, but the whole class just is so excited to see him every time he goes out there. So that's a wonderful thing for freshmen to get involved with. The Hampden-Sydney Volunteer Fire Department and Rescue Squad, they will be over at the library today to tell you more about that. We have a lot of students that do that. We go out and pass out food once a month with Prince Edward Schools, and Miss Burns, she actually goes to our Faces Food Market every Saturday. So, but yeah, there's tons and tons and tons of things to do. If you guys ever feel like you're bored, please come see me, and I will find you something to do that's meaningful and that will, add to your education here at Hampden-Sydney. But now I'd like to bring my orientation leaders up. Speaking of volunteers. So these guys said they would work with me for 8 straight days as orientation leaders. So I'm very proud of them, and I just wanted them to introduce themselves to you. Mr. Caleb.
My name is Caleb Camp. I'm chairman of the orientation leading team. I'm a foreign affairs major, history minor, religion minor, part of the Mentor Club, as Sandy mentioned. I work in OSA, work in the post office, and I'm a Wilson Fellow.
Hi, I'm Jameson. I'm going to be a senior. I'm an English major and a religion minor. I'm going to be a head RA this coming year, and I just finished as president of the Pre-Law Society.
Howdy, my name's Andrew Lee. I am head orientation leader as well. I'm a RA this year in Cushion. I'm also a vice president of Chi Alpha, and also a Wilson's Fellow.
Hello, I'm Talbot. I'm going to be a sophomore this year. I'm a Wilson Fellow as well. I work in the Career Center. I'm a brother at Fiji. What other stuff am I in? Oh, investment banking club, a few other clubs here and there.
Hey, I'm James. I'm an economics and business major. I'm a junior. I work in the Career Center and run cross country.
I'm a math econ major.
Hello, I'm William. I'm planning on majoring in English. I'll be a sophomore next year. I run cross country and track. I'm in the debate society here. I play the drums.
So these guys are really impressive, and I appreciate all you do. Thank you. But at this time, if you want to stand up again, you are going to head out this door with these guys and go to your peer-to-peer talk where you can ask all the questions you wanted to ask, not in front of your parents. Have a great day.